Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shay goes by.
Wake your fuck ass up. That crust out your eyes.
David Lee Roth has joined us 21 minutes into the hour, Sway in the morning. That's Public Enemy.
To fight the power.
Your Public Enemy just got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Of course.
Yeah, rightfully so, right?
Well, we were talking here over on the side about, she says, I said, you know every word to this song. You must know a million songs. Did this come from a certain moment in your life?
Yeah.
Does this represent a moment? And let me dovetail, because usually when I walk into a team like this, somebody says, hey, man, you're a long timer. You're a lifer in this. You got any advice? And I say, absolutely. And I don't go with that shit about, follow your dream.
Yeah.
Don't listen to anybody. I'm much more specific. At any given time, have a song that you're listening to over and over and over again. When you heard Fight the Power, could be that, could be any kind of music at all. Something you listen to 20 times a day, over and over and over again. Listen to it for about 2-3 weeks. It wears out. You get a next song. You follow. It can be something old, new, popular, whatever. 10 years later, 20 years later, you pop that song in there and boom, you're right back in the summer of.
You're in that moment, right?
Oh, right in that moment. You'll feel the humidity of that August. You remember that it was freezing. You go, remember that haircut we had? Oh, my God. Remember those shoes? What happened to that shoes? Those were my favorite shoes. And what was that girlfriend? That was, and on and on. Only music can do that for you. You follow?
True.
So you make it a conscious effort. And it will bring back to you when you was in school, when you was in the military, when you was incarcerated, the day you got out of whatever. And I say this to all kinds of folks, and all kinds of musical backgrounds and whatever. And only music can do that for you. Right. Not a film, not a book or whatever.
Music, right? The Roth Show is on YouTube. You can also find it on iTunes. It's great to see you. It's a very timely show, and in that medium of the internet, that wasn't there always.
No, it was never there, man. And now that we have it, it's our opportunity. That's our own radio station. It's our own stage. It's our own theater, our own movie theater, and whatever. And on the Roth Show, we go way beyond the kind of music that I play for a living. We talk about we talk about professional wrestling on this latest episode because it's the one sport that everybody has in common in the United States, especially in a city like New York City. The first episode is, why do we all swear? Is what makes this in? Because I can swear for an hour nonstop. What about you?
That's the shit.
It's the one language that everybody has. Again, when Mr. Ramirez lives next to Mr. Patel and you got two different languages, you can make one word sound like 20 different things depending on how you make your hands. You make your eyes, you go, oof, that's the shit. That's a total compliment. You go, oh, no, that was shit. It turns into something else.
Right.
And that works internationally now that way. And, we explore a lot of things. It's kind of like the social science teacher that you always wanted.
David Lee Roth has joined us. Augustus from Ohio is on the line. Go ahead, Augustus.
Hey, Sway, major props for having the man, David Lee Roth, on your show. Major props.
Thank you, man.
Roth,
Makes me feel great. Right on. Please share with.
I ain't hearing shout, but hey, I will tell you to this day, the teacher, that video is still my favorite video of all freaking time.
Thank you so much. When we realized early on that, video was going to be an opportunity to do things, and I wrote that video. It was the first time, we started to create some long stories and whatnot, and it was one of the first times that an artist took control of that, which is commonplace now. Obviously, when you got teams like Jay-Z and Beyonce, they're completely in control of what's going on there, but that was unusual. Even the idea of looking straight into the camera, break the fourth wall first, just start off with that, use the money shots right from the beginning. We started doing that. And we also started using, because I was a student of all the early Flash teams, the Nicholas brothers and the Berry brothers from the 1930s and 40s, those tap dancers. You never had face close-ups. It was all tops and toes because they were doing cool stuff. Yeah. From all the way down. They were dancing. So we were the first ones to drop that camera way down there, skip the close-ups, which, proves fortuitous later in life. But if you look at those old videos, it's just like 1930s, black and whites, you follow, where everybody's dancing. You want to see the whole body. And we kind of broke the roll there, and now that's commonplace as well. Please.
You seem like a lot of fun to be around. Just what do you do when you're not working? What do you do for fun?
Well, I like to go out at night, and I like to go dancing, and I like going to school. You follow, but not in common school. Like in Japan, I've been studying. I went to get my training certificate in Japanese sword style. Again, I started that when I was 9. And out of that grows my teacher. For my teachers, that's my community. And my sword teacher, he's Buddhist monk. He's got the shaved head and the whole thing. He trained in Brazil for about 6 years, taught down there. So he likes samba dancing. So samba dancing in Tokyo is done in a place that's not much bigger than this studio.
Wow.
Samba
really?
dancing in
Oh,
Tokyo?
yeah. Oh, yeah. You see these Japanese mamacitas, who studied the internet. Totally. They got the outfits, and they're doing like oba, and it's all done in a basement, not much bigger than this room. The ceiling is not much higher. Tokyo's all squashed together, kind of like that. And so I started going there. You follow?
Do you train, like, well, you mentioned the sword. Do you train with a long sword or a short sword?
Yeah, the long sword. You guys might call it the samurai sword.
Yeah, the samurai
They
sword.
used it as well. It's Japanese long sword. And we do kendo, which is full contact. You put that, it looks like a grill work over your face. And then it's forms. You follow with the real deal, with the real sharp sword. And it's like kata. You've seen people doing karate forms and stuff, and you draw that sword. And I'm going for my teaching certificate. And I've been there for a year. I've completed my year overseas, had to audition for some guys in one of the major cities. Now I will train for a year on my rooftop here in home, just up the street, and then I will go back and get the shit kicked out of me for about 6 months, and I'll have a training certificate.
Do you live alone?
Yeah, I do. I've got a cattle dog who's back in Tokyo right now. I flew in to do these shows, and then I'll be leaving again tomorrow.
All right.
13-hour airplane trips don't mean much when you live on a tour bus.
Now, what does David Lee Roth do for love? Like, do you have a companion, or are you in a relationship?
No, I'm fucked up. I like strippers.
My man!
You are DJ Wonder's idol.
2 chicks in a toaster oven. I'm kinky, man.
You're right,
I'm kinky. I have issues.
I'm in a toaster oven. A lot of when you think of the classic legendary rockers, you think of the great music, the great performance, the great times, but you also think of the flip side. There was a lot of drugs and stuff back in those days. Still is.
As much as possible. We decided that we were going to make Elvis look like a Boy Scout. We decided, that we were going to make the Rolling Stone like pikers. Yeah. And we would go out there, and that extended into everything that we did, all right? I remember I had the barricade numbered 0 to 10 in white letters on the right, 0 to 10 in red letters on the left. And at that point, guys didn't have headsets on the side of the stage, so I would dance down, and during the guitar solo, which is in the middle of every song, like sax song, hip hop or whatever, and I would look and I go, great looking dame, gray shirt, red sweater, about 6 feet back. I think she's got a boyfriend. And I would say that to the guy on the side, and the security guy would go out and hand out passes. You follow? So it was it extended
come backstage.
into, there'd be 40 girls, backstage to get rid of the boyfriends. You follow? And I was with Doc Gooden. He just did his book. He just got out of rehab. He says it was all the pressure. It was all the pressure to play, all the pressure to pitch winning games, the pressure from his dad. And I said, I just did it because I had too many options.
Did you always use a condom, or did you ever go raw?
My father was a surgeon. We always used a condom.
My man, David Lee Roth. They got
way early on. And please let me share that my roots into showbiz go all the way back here. When Pop was in medical school, I spent the summers down in the Village. My Uncle Manny discovered Bob Dylan. Richard Pryor was one of his finds. He was Richard Pryor's first agent, got his first job.
I saw they got a documentary on Showtime that talks about you.
Uncle Manny's still with us. He's 93. His wife is my age. Hello. What are we pretending to not know here?
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.